I'm, as was introduced, the CEO of TAE Life Sciences. I've spent my life optimizing radiation treatments for cancer patients. And while radiation treatments have gone a long way over the last 25 years, there's still a long way to go. And the therapy really needs to be improved in the future. We're focused on taking radiation therapy and making it biologically targeted. And the way we're doing that is through a drug-device combination that uses a type of therapy called Boron Neutron Capture Therapy, BNCT. Here's how the therapy works. The patient gets an infusion of a drug, and the drug is designed to deliver boron-10 to the tumor cells as selectively as possible. Boron-10 is a stable isotope of boron. It's an inert material. It has no impact on the patient by itself. But once the boron is localized in the tumor cells, we take the patient to a special radiation facility where we treat them with low-energy neutron irradiation. Neutrons in this energy range don't do much damage to healthy tissue, but they have a high affinity for interacting with boron. When a neutron hits a boron atom, it creates two daughter particles. One is an alpha particle, and the second is a lithium-7 ion. Those are energized to around 200,000 volts of energy, and they deliver all of that energy over a range of 5 to 9 microns. This is incredibly damaging to tumor cells and results in double-strand DNA breaks, which destroys the cells. So this therapy is unique in terms of other forms of radiation. Standard radiation therapy targets a region of the patient, not the cancer cells themselves. And this therapy has what we call a double focus, where the radiation beam focuses on a region of the patient and the drug focuses on the tumor itself. So the cells are targeted directly, but only in a region of the patient. So you don't have to worry about downstream effects and other challenges with using things like radiopharmaceuticals. So some background on our company. We're based in Southern California. We're 6 years old. We've raised $90 million in funding to date. We have around 134 patents, and we have around 100 people working on this project. And it's a drug-device combination. So we're both a Medtech company and a biotech company all rolled into one, which is why we've raised $90 million. And at this meeting, we're looking to raise our Series C, $75 million more in financing. So I talked about radiation therapy and why it's insufficient. So about 1 in 3 people will get cancer, and about half of those people will receive radiation therapy as part of their course of treatment. In standard radiation, you treat a region of the patient, and the damage that's done to cells is primarily single-strand DNA breaks. The therapy can be relatively toxic, so patients have to come every day, usually for 4 to 8 weeks, depending on the tumor and the dose that's being delivered to the patient. With our approach, BNCT, 70% of patients are treated in a single treatment session. About 30% of patients receive 2 treatments, and it's targeting the radiation where the problem is, at the cellular level. And this type of radiation, using alpha particles, tends to do double-strand DNA breaks, which is far more damaging and effective in treating the cancer. So clinicians are very excited about this therapy. Why is that? Well, some cancers are very well treated with radiation, but others, the tumors tend to be radiation resistant, the tumors can be refractory and can't be treated with standard techniques. This therapy is well suited for treating those types of tumors. There's significant clinical evidence for the technique in treating cancers of the brain like glioblastoma multiforme and also meningioma. It's also very well suited for treating head and neck cancers, specifically squamous cell carcinoma. I mentioned before, it's 1 or 2 treatments only. It takes around 30 minutes of beam on time, about 60 minutes for the entire treatment course. It's very well suited for treating solid tumors, particularly those that have limited treatment options. Over 2,000 patients have been treated historically with this technique using older generations of technology. And now with new technologies that are available and that we're bringing to market, it will be very well suited for treating local and regional metastatic tumors. And it also has been shown to have strong immune response as well. So what I just shared with you is not theoretical. We've now treated 14 patients. Actually, the slide is out of date. This morning, we treated the 15th patient. The patient that was treated today had a recurrent glioblastoma, very difficult to treat cancer. For the patients that had been treated previously, I'll share two on this slide. The top slide is a patient that has a squamous cell carcinoma, specifically a recurrent cancer. Those cancers tend to have very poor outcomes. This patient was treated about 6 months ago and achieved a complete response to the tumor. The second patient is a patient that has a relatively rare cancer called chondrosarcoma. The patient had previously had surgery and chemotherapy and had a difficult outcome. The tumor returned, and the patient refused to subject themselves to that therapy going forward. They were treated twice with this therapy and has had an outstanding response so far. So this opportunity, compared to many venture deals that you will look at, is relatively de-risked. The drug that we use to deliver the boron to the tumor cells, called BPA, boronophenylalanine, is already been used extensively on patients. It's actually approved in Japan from a manufacturer there. It's an off-patent drug. So that's a relatively low-risk endeavor. The treatment machine that produces the neutron irradiation is now installed and commissioned and is in clinical use and showing the results that I just showed you. So we think this is significantly de-risked compared to many opportunities that you'll look at. We have a lot of exciting clinicians that are interested in this technology. In the United States, we signed MOUs with 2 top medical centers to get the technology. In Europe, we've signed MOUs with 3 medical centers, 1 in the United Kingdom, 1 in Birmingham, another just recently, the slide hasn't been updated, in Switzerland. And our first installation will happen at an innovative radiation center near Milan in northern Italy. In Asia, we've chosen a partnership model. We have a joint venture in China where we're treating the first patients that I just showed you. And we have a market-leading distributor and partner in Korea, and there are several other distributors in place in Asia as well. So customers are really excited about this technology. We also have significant research relationships with MD Anderson in the United States, doing preclinical research in Kyoto University in Japan. I mentioned before that the BPA drug was off patent. BPA is a good drug. It's an amino acid-based drug, and its selectivity of getting boron to tumor cells versus healthy cells is about 3 to 1, and that is responsible for the clinical results that I just showed you. However, we have new drugs that are under development that dramatically improve the selectivity of getting boron into tumor cells, enable us to get more boron into tumor cells, which increases the effective dose to patients' tumors. Also, the new drugs expand the indications available. So we've got a strong leadership team. I have a 25-year background in optimizing radiation. I've been in every major cancer center in the United States. Kendall Morrison is our chief scientist. He has a long experience in big pharma, and in particular, he's an expert in antibody targeting of drugs. And we have significant other executive experience in the industry. So we're focused on reinventing radiation therapy and delivering this as the new standard of care over time. And we're currently raising $75 million in our Series C. If any investor would like to speak, I'll be available after the session. Thank you.